happen when you're dancing. Things that you would not do fall naturally on the floor. Hi guys, the best thing happen when you're dancing. Do da 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 da. Welcome to the Thrive With live show with Katy Simpson here, teaching you all things to do with getting your voice and message out there to the world through live video and podcasting. Let me know if you know what vodcasting is. It's got nothing to do with vodka, by the way. It's got something to do with podcasting and something to do with video. So I'd love to know down below if you know what vodcasting is. Do you vodcast? Do you watch or listen to vodcasts? So let's get into what we're going to be talking about today with podcasting and vodcasting. Video podcasting. So let me know if you know what they are. Do you know what vodcasting is? And I will see you after this very short brief intro where we welcome the podcast listeners. So do come and say hi. It's so lovely to see you, and I will see you in a moment. Don't go anywhere.
This is the Thrive With Live show, the podcast where you can learn to go live with poise, professionalism, and peace of mind. Live video is the best free tool to win clients and grow your income and authority. So, if you want to ditch the overwhelm and confusion to skyrocket your online success through the dynamism of live video, then you are in the right place. This podcast covers all aspects, from your mindset, voice, style, and personal branding to all the technology and tools you need to get started and grow with live video. And now, here is your host, Katy Simpson.
So welcome to the Thrive With live show. Come on in, come and say hi. So lovely to see you here. And I would love to know down below if you have vodcasted. It sounds a bit painful maybe, but it's actually what I'm doing right now, vodcasting. So let's have a look at what we're going to be focusing on today. Is it for you? What is it? How do you do it? Where to upload it? And some bonus information as well. So let's get into this. Come and say hi. Come and say hi. Come in. So let's get into it, guys. So first of all, what is vodcasting? So you could also call this video podcasting. You can also call it video casting. And vodcasting. So it's a combination of video and podcasting at the same time. Let me just turn my notifications off. Just bear with me a second. Focus. Do not disturb. Right, sorry for all the clicking. I just don't want there to be a lot of binging going on while I'm trying to do this. So video podcasting, it's doing both at the same time. And once you've got your thing set up, so that is what I'm doing right now. Basically, I am going live to YouTube. I also create a mini video on YouTube, which I record just afterwards, immediately afterwards, while I'm still in the mode. So I do a sort of more structured YouTube video, if you see what I mean. So you can, if you do video and podcast at the same time, you can call it vodcasting. And there's certain ways of doing it, which we're going to get into today. So let's just bring up this little thing. So what is it? Yeah, it's when you're doing a video and you're doing a podcast at the same time. So I am doing both. I'm actually going live at the same time, and I'm actually multi-streaming at the same time. So I'm going live in lots of places at the same time. So I'm doing a sort of mega vodcasting, as it were. Yeah, and as I said, immediately after my vodcast, my live vodcast, I get my phone and do a really quick précis of it while I'm just sitting at my desk here. And then I do a short YouTube video as well, which I can add little titles to and things like that. But that's like vodcasting on stilts. If you see what I mean. So vodcasting basically is doing a video. It can be a pre-recorded video, and you can send that out as a podcast and audio as well. So how to do it? Right. How do you do that? So traditionally, and traditionalists say that a podcast is only a podcast if it has what they call an RSS feed. So you have to use a platform like Anchor or Captivate FM, Libsyn. All of those, have you heard of any of those? There are quite a number of them. I'm just trying to think of some of the others off the top of my head. And what they do is you get the audio and you put it into that platform as an episode, and it delivers it to Apple and Spotify and Google and everywhere else. Lovely to see you, Emma. Great to see you. How are you? Thank you for watching. So a podcast, traditionalists say that something can't be a podcast unless it has an RSS feed to it. Others say if you do a video on YouTube that people can listen to at the same time as watching it, or, you know, I watch YouTube videos when I'm doing other stuff, so I don't actually watch them, I just listen to them, like podcasts. So a podcast is generally something that is longer form content. It's something that doesn't depend on you seeing things on it. So generally in my live shows here, I do things that don't depend on you being able to see the screen. Some of them, there's really helpful things that I bring up on the screen, but you can also listen to it and still get almost all the same amount of content and appreciation and entertainment, whatever, from just listening to it. So if you go to YouTube and watch pre-recorded YouTube videos, the ones that are getting a lot of likes and watches are generally the ones that have quite a lot of visual stuff going on to make it interesting to watch. If you listen to the longer ones that you don't necessarily need to look at, then that could well be a podcast as well. So non-traditionalists could say that is a podcast. So there is a real blurred distinction between video, sort of longer form video that you don't have to look at the screen for, and podcasting, and we could call them the same thing. Now YouTube has just brought out, and I don't believe it's in the UK, I think it is in the whole of the US, that you can actually say that this is a podcast when you're uploading your video, and it recognizes it as a podcast. I mean, there's not much difference about the way it works at the moment on YouTube. It works pretty much exactly the same. It's just got a label on it saying that it's a podcast. So yeah, that's the difference. So to do a vodcast well, you really need a few things going on. So you really need a very good microphone. So the one I've got here is the Heil PR40 microphone, which is an excellent microphone. It's about £250 in UK, so maybe $300 or so in the US, but you can get a really good one for like $90, which is called the Samsung Q2U. And that is actually a really good microphone. Lots of people really love this one here. And this one, yeah, it's ever so popular, and for reasons. It is a pretty good microphone. It has lots of settings on it, so you need to make sure that you know what the settings are. That is the Blue Yeti, that one. And if you need some help with that, just send me a message and I can get you the video, or you can search on my YouTube videos for the Blue Yeti not specifications, advice, tips, how to use it. Because you need to use it properly. So the most important thing is that you get a decent microphone. Secondly, it's good if you have a fairly decent camera. And again, you don't have to have an actual camera. You can have a webcam like I've got. And I've just got, it's been going for many years, this webcam, and it's the Logitech C920. I have to be careful about saying that because I used to have a moped which was a Honda C90. And I get confused. This one is the Logitech C920 webcam. It's pretty good, isn't it? It's miles better than your standard webcam from your computer. But saying that, some of the new Mac computers have amazing webcams in them, and there's some that actually move with you as you move around, and they recognize certain gestures as well, which is pretty incredible. But you need a fairly decent camera, but the most important thing is your microphone, that you get a really, really good audio quality. So with microphones, there's so many different types that you can get. But yeah, you can get like I've got, which has a special connection, not a USB connection, but it's got an XLR connection, which means that I can't plug it straight into my computer. I have to plug it into an audio interface, and then that plugs into the computer. That's an extra sort of complication for people who aren't really into audio tech, but it does scale really well with you. You can do quite a lot before it gets to the computer to improve the sound. Otherwise, just get one that's got a USB backing. And you know, there are quite a lot of microphones that are really good, but the cheapest one that's pretty decent is the Samsung Q2U. Yeah, there's interim ones between that and the Heil PR40 that I've got. So hi, somebody who's watching from the group, you will see down here, it will say allow Ecamm to see your name. If you just click that, it will take you like 2 seconds and then I can see your name. But in groups, you probably know that Facebook does this annoying thing. So lovely to see you. Okay, so first of all, microphone, really important that you get a decent microphone. Everyone will forgive you if they can't see you properly. Hi, Jim. Nice to see you. You're pretty amazing at this sort of stuff. And thank you for saying my hair looks cute and glam. That's really nice of you. Yeah, I'm pleased with this haircut. Look, that's a complete aside, everybody, but it's lovely to chat with all of you. Please do chat in the comments because it's great to see you. And a little aside, when I'm making this into my podcast, I just take out these little interim bits. I can do that in a program called Descript. Just let me know if you want some information about that. I just read the text that I'm rambling, saying hi to somebody, and the podcast listeners don't really want to hear that, so I just delete it, and it takes me like 2 seconds. But it's so lovely to interact with you guys. So do try, if you're in the group, do try and just click on the Ecamm thing so I can see your name. That would be lovely. Yeah, or just put who it is. Hi Carol, lovely to see you as well. Thanks for watching. So, excuse me. So for the new listeners, vodcasting is video and podcasting kissing each other, uniting. And the amazing thing is, what I really love teaching people is that these sort of things are easy once you know how, easy to set up. And then what is incredible is that your content can just blow up with you just going live once a week. You can create video babies, or for us normal people, stories or shorts from your videos. You can do that with captions on. You can do all Canva quotes and all that sort of thing if you want, and you can be everywhere. And people say to me, you're like a content creation machine, you're everywhere. And I'm like, you don't realize that I'm actually having to rest in bed like 80% of the time. I'm not on my computer like 80% of the time. It's just because I've got this workflow going. I can create my podcast and video at the same time. I can create these video babies at the same time. I can create a reel at the same time, and a short form YouTube video at the same time, and I can basically be everywhere. And also, when I get round to it, I do a blog as well, using that program Descript. So you can just create a whole raft of content, and you can grab high ticket clients as well. If you saw my Thrive with Live show last week, I was talking about how to get high ticket clients from your content. And high ticket clients are often people who are very busy. They might well not have time to watch a whole live video, and generally people don't really watch the whole live video on a replay because there isn't that interaction. I mean, you guys are interacting beautifully on here. So Carol is saying, I love it, thank you so much. Judith found it, well done, lovely to see you. She's found out how to say find her name. Yeah, it can be a bit annoying, the hoops that Facebook puts makes us go through sometimes. So yeah, honestly, you can be a content creation machine as well. And once you know how, once you set up, you can do it each week, and it just flows. You get into a workflow, and it is a game changer. If you have lacking in energy or lacking in time, it's a game changer. So as I was saying, your high ticket clients, they haven't got time to watch that. So they might have time to watch a podcast, and lots of them love listening to podcasts while they're out for a run, while they're walking their dog, while they're driving to somewhere, while they're doing something else. They love just plugging you into their ears, once a week while they're doing their fun thing. So podcasting and vodcasting can be really good for high ticket clients. Also watching these mini videos, these video babies, these reels, these shorts, you can grab them there. And maybe it's people who don't learn very much on video. They don't really like that. They prefer to read. So therefore your blog that you can make easily from your video is a way to grab them. So it's building this diverse audience and attracting different sorts of clients. Okay, so we've talked about, and I've just sprayed my coffee everywhere. What are we like? We've talked about your microphone, so get a decent microphone. That is really, really important. Get a reasonable camera that's better than your phone. Not your phone camera. Actually, you can use that as a webcam, and that can be really good. And what if you really want to up level things, what you can do if you're using a program like I'm using now, which is Ecamm Live. I think you can do this with StreamYard now. I'm not entirely sure, but I think you might be able to, because StreamYard is a first level live streaming platform. What I mean about that is it's much better than just going live on your computer straight into Facebook or on your phone straight into Instagram or whatever. It's good to have a tool, and then you can bring in audience and bring in interviewees and make it look a lot better, and you can use the recordings easily as well. So StreamYard is like a first level tool. It's very easy and straightforward to use, but it doesn't have nearly all the bells and whistles that a program like Ecamm Live that I'm using right now has. But if you use that sort of program, then it makes it so easy to make your vodcast and repurpose it, download it as audio, as video, whatever you want to do, and bring in interviewees as well. Just lost my train of thought a little bit over that. Anyway, next thing I'm going to be talking about is lighting. So you need decent lighting. So a big ring light can be really good. If you've got glasses like me, just be careful that it's not right in front of your face, because you will look a bit like a zombie. So it's good to have it slightly above you and slightly to one side, but then you will need another light, and you can get like a table light that's a warm light. It's not too harsh. Now, the lighting that I've got is not very expensive at all. I absolutely love it. They are enormous stands that come with it, and they are pretty enormous lights, and they're diffused lights, and I keep forgetting what the actual term of it is. They're great big box lights. It's just a big massive light bulb. They're not boiling hot at all. They don't overheat, they don't make me boiling hot. I use them all the time. I bought them years ago off Amazon. They're called Fovitech, and I've got a kit list with the links for them if you want that. Just put kit list and I will get you that. But they're soft box lights, remembered it. And it just, I can't alter the actual lighting. The better ones you can, and I think in my kit list that's the one I've put. You can alter the brightness, and I think you can alter the temperature. So either a ring light that you can do that with, or those sort of lights are really, really good, and it just makes everything a lot better. So what I was saying, with your phone camera, you can, with a program like Ecamm, you can have another camera. So you can bring in your phone as another camera. I don't know whether you've seen any vodcasts on YouTube or whatever, but the good ones have a different angle. And sometimes in the live show, I show you that as well. It's sort of in a side angle. You can, some people use it as like, getting to know you, sort of, a secret. Oh, did you know? And you sort of speak into your phone camera. So you could have a few cameras without actually having to buy more cameras, around, and that just really up levels it. So Martin is saying boo. Boo to you, Martin, as well. I wonder, are you cold in Canada right now? Let me know what it's like over there. Lovely to see you. Thank you for coming. Boo. And Carol says, I love your lighting as well. Thank you, Carol. Yeah, they're really good, these. I'll just pull in one. So can you see that? It's not heavy. Fovey Tech. They're brilliant. They haven't failed on me at all. Hang on. Oops. Done it now. And they're really cheap, and you get these massive stands. I mean, one of the things is, that you can't alter the ones that I've got, but the slightly better one you can. The other thing is that they're pretty massive. So they, it's about that square that they're sitting on the floor. So you do need a decent space. So I've just sort of squashed them around. So they're not in a perfect position, to be honest. This one over here needs to be a bit more in front of me so that you can't see these lines so much and these lines. But thank you so much. So so to set up, microphone, most important. You really must have a fairly decent microphone. You could start just with your Apple AirPods or your phone microphone, as long as it's a decent one. They're not fantastic, but you can start with that, or a lavalier mic, one that you just clip on you, as long as you're careful that you don't have earrings and long hair or clothing and stuff that's going to rattle on it. Because if you think about repurposing something into a podcast, if there's an annoying noise that you might not notice on a video, people are watching you and interacting with you in various levels, so they might not notice it, but the audio has to be really good for a podcast, unless they know that you're out and about. For example, just as an aside, I also do some vodcasts from my chicken coop, and you can hear the chickens in the background, which is quite cute, but you can also hear a bit of air noise, a bit of cars going past. But I say, that this is on location type of thing, so people expect it from that. But generally, if you're in your studio, you really need pretty good sound, and you don't have to spend a fortune. So I would recommend that you use a platform like Ecamm Live, and I've got a course to show you how to use it. It is the most amazing platform. So I can change my scenes like this. I can do this. I can add screen shares and all sorts of things, and you can just set these things up with your own branding. Just makes you look so much more professional. You can play with the volume of your microphone. You can add in sound effects like this. It really is great fun. So if you'd like to know more about that, I have a course on it. So I lead you through every little bit, and you can interview up to 10 people now, I think. And they don't even have to have a computer to be interviewed on. And it's great for podcasting because you now get their audio and you get yours separately. So if they have a massive coughing fit, or if their audio isn't very good quality, or they interrupt you or whatever, you can just take that out for a podcast. Okay, another thing that's good for video podcasting is think about what's behind you. So generally I put this little picture up behind me because I've got a bookcase with music books, because I actually teach singing from here as well. So I generally put a nice relaxing sort of butterfly picture, because that's a bit of me, speaks a bit of me. I have some flowers going on and a relaxing picture, but also a little microphone there. So it just sort of speaks of me, speaks of relaxation and calming sort of feel, but a bit of the sound, of what I do as well. So you need to think about your backdrop, because if it's all completely random, if it's very cluttered, it won't look good. It won't make you feel good either. They will be focused on things. So another little tip about your backdrop is don't have things in front of each other. Try and have things separate from each other, because it becomes two-dimensional when you're watching a video. You can't see the dimensions, so it can be a bit confusing what is behind something else, and then your viewers, if they're watching, will start getting distracted trying to work out what is behind something else. So not too cluttered, things separate from each other, and in your whole branding message. So that's backdrop. So that is how you set up. So that's how you do it. Now, number 3, where to upload it. Where to upload your vodcast, your video podcast, your video cast, whatever you like to call it. So YouTube is pretty fantastic for this sort of thing. And now in the US, you can actually upload your video and call it a podcast. They don't call it a vodcast, interestingly enough. They call it a podcast. So it's just a normal video, but podcasts tend to be a longer video without all the snazzy things going on that people often have on their YouTube videos. So it's a longer form video in general. And then they can put that somewhere else as well. At the same time, they can upload it somewhere else. So why YouTube? YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. It has 2.8 billion monthly active users. I'd love to know from you, do you watch YouTube very much? I actually am constantly on YouTube. I look at it for everything, and I don't always look. In fact, a lot of the time I just listen. So it's so interesting that they are coming into the world of podcasting, and they have for a while, these longer form videos. So I'd really recommend that you do your live training, if you do that each week, or if you do it every other week, or whenever you do it. I would really recommend that you get that onto YouTube. And the easiest thing is, if you can use a platform like Restream, you'll see the down below, you'll see a link for that. That's really easy to use. It's a bit like StreamYard, but you can multi-stream. You can send your video to lots of places at the same time, and then you just turn off your video and you don't have to do anything after that. It's amazing. So I'd really recommend that you multi-stream. You go live in Facebook and LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, wherever you want to at the same time. The only difference is Instagram. And as I speak, Instagram is starting to allow some people to go live with these video tools like Ecamm, like StreamYard, etc. They're called third-party video tools. Instagram are just beginning to allow that. So that is exciting, actually, because we can add Instagram in hopefully soon. Now, if you use YouTube, which I really recommend you do need to think about your title. You do need to think about having a nice thumbnail. I'd love to know what you think of my thumbnail for this video. So when the video's finished, if you haven't seen it before, just click on my name if you're on Facebook or YouTube or wherever, and I'd love to know what you think about the thumbnail. It's a little bit seasonal at the moment because we're expecting snow soon. I'd love to know if you think it is slightly, it's not incredible, but I made it in Canva using Canva Pro, and I'd love to know if you think it is fairly good. You need to think about your title. So using something like TubeBuddy or keywords everywhere or answerthepublic.com. These tools are really great for, and they're free. You can get them for free. Excuse me. And you can see what people are searching for, what keywords people are typing in. So it's really important that you get a good title and you use good keywords for YouTube, because that's the way that your vodcast is going to be seen. And then you can use something like Anchor, which is a free platform to get your RSS feed and upload to Spotify and Apple. I think they upload to Google and Amazon as well. I'm not absolutely sure. They've changed quite a lot recently. If you know the answer, if you could put that in the description, that would be great. But Anchor is a free platform. It's called a hosting platform for your podcast. So you get the video, you upload that to YouTube. You get the audio, you upload that to Anchor. And if you use something like Ecamm, that is so easy to do, because once you finish your video, it will automatically download to your computer in those formats and you can just upload it. Really, really game changer. So Spotify now have a video podcasting aspect as well, which is quite interesting, but it isn't really it's nowhere near as many people are searching for and watching video vodcasts on Spotify at the moment. Great. So we will get onto the bonus content in a second. So Judith watches or listens to videos every day. Yeah, I'm sure I could probably beat you, Judith, with the amount of hours on YouTube. I'm sure I could beat almost everybody. Martin always wants to be professional, and he's saying always be professional and devise a compelling message to your defined audience. That's a really helpful comment, Martin. Thank you. So yes, a compelling message is the most important thing, isn't it? And once you've got that, then you can direct it to where you want to. But yes, without that, to your particular niche, you know, people who need that content, without that, is not going to succeed. And Martin is in Canada, and I received more snow in 45 minutes where I live now than I did living in England total for 32 years. How absolutely incredible. We're all getting worried about maybe a few flakes, to be honest. I am in south of England as well, so we're softer than the north of England, where they say, oh, just put your big coat on, and we're like stressing that we might get a few flakes. That is so funny. You get absolutely tons. Okay, guys, so let's get to the bonus info. So I've just touched on this a little bit already, but I absolutely adore helping people to repurpose their live videos and their podcasts. It is a game changer. If you go live each week or every other week, maybe once a month, if you create a lot of buzz around your live event, then that's fine. But you really ought to repurpose your live as a podcast and as other mini bits of content as well. And this can be very quick to do. In some cases, you can set it up for free, automated and emailed to your inbox. Honestly, it is fantastic. There are a few platforms. Some of them are paid and fairly cheap. Some of them are quite a bit more expensive, and some of them are free. So you can do this in like 1.5 hours of finishing your live training and then repurposing that so that you've got at least one thing, and you can do it so you've got more than one thing per day for the whole of the week. And if you're going live for a bigger live event once a month, then you will probably do like an hour's training, live training, and you can cut that up into more pieces of content. So what I love to teach is that generally a lot of us, when we're going live, will have 3 main points. And so it's quite easy to cut that up into 3 mini videos. 3 quotes, 3 audiograms, and already I've got, if I'm counting right, 9 pieces of content there. And you can do this quite quickly. So the podcast, I do a lot of editing on my live video. I'm doing a bit less than I used to, but still I'm doing pretty a lot. I'm creating a description as well, and that takes me an hour from finishing my live video to be able to do that. And then it's uploaded. I use a program called Alitu, which is amazing, and it creates an audiogram and all the text for me for my blog as well. I don't just upload that text straight to a blog. I do change it quite a lot. I have pictures and titles and make it look nice. I add keywords and stuff as well. But yeah, you can make video shorts. So a program I'd really encourage you to look at, which is free, is called Headliner.app. I think it's called that. And it's actually an app as well. And they have a really good free option on there with your branding on it. And it can take your video, even if it's a horizontal one like that, and make it vertical and add captions. It can add music. It's fantastic. I use InShot as well to take my video and make that into a reel with really fun stickers and captions and titles and all sorts of stuff. InShot, that's free as well. They've got a free bit to it anyway. And Descript, which also does the horizontal to vertical videos with brilliant captions and your branding on there. So I'd really recommend that you go and have a look at those things and get Vodcasting. If you would like to know more about my Ecamm course or my Alitu course, which is, you know, how to do your podcast with a low-cost platform that is really fun and easy to use, then I have an Alitu course. So let me know if you'd like the details about that, and I'd be very happy to tell you a bit more about that. And thank you for watching, and I'd love it if you get your voice and message more out into the world because you've been encouraged by me. I'd be so encouraged myself to hear that. Okay, guys, thank you for watching the Thrive with Live show, and I will love you and leave you, and take care. Bye. See you, guys. Lots of love. Count your blessings and press record.